Dear Father White, dear Tom Corcoran, thank you very much for being here today. You're both members of the Catholic parish Nativity Church in Baltimore, which became famous around the globe for its innovative program of parish renewal. For the last few days, you have been virtually to Cologne in order to give a workshop on parish growth to a group of 70 priests and full-time employed persons committed to the pastoral care in our diocese. Thank you very much for being here again and speaking about the REBUILT program. So my first question would be, could you please say in a few words what the REBUILT program is?
Well, or did you want to answer that? I would jump in then, sorry. We talk about really 4 simple things that any parish can do to rebuild their parish. And first of all, we want to go back to, it's all about making disciples. It's that simple. That's the mission Jesus gave us in Matthew 28. We want to make disciples. And so we say any parish can do that. We need to build up leaders in our community. It takes a whole leadership effort from the pastor, and then layers of leaders, not just the pastor, but other leaders in the parish, to creating a great weekend experience, so the weekend mass and programs around that. We want to shape a clear discipleship path for the people that are in our parish. How do we want them to grow as disciples? And we talk about steps of discipleship. And then to welcome outsiders or reach out to people who are disconnected from Christ and the church. So just doing those 4 simple things is what we preach over and over again.
My second question would be, which experiences did you make at Nativity Church during COVID crisis?
Well, I think that we started out in the COVID experience, and it felt like a sprint in the spring last year, and was a question of just trying to make it through the sprint. And then the sprint turned into a marathon, and the marathon has turned into, I don't know, a triathlon. And we have to reinvent our response over and over and over again. And we've spent a lot of time, as I'm sure every parish has, but we have to keep in mind our purpose and our mission, despite the restrictions and the mandates and the very different and new ways of doing things, such as church online.
So for us, to piggyback off that, was going back to what is our vision and mission. And we would say our vision is to be a church people who don't like church, and our mission is to make disciples. And so we stayed focused on that. And then those core anchors we talked about earlier, to how do we do that in a digital time? So I think it's how do we do it through a screen, through online, and keep connecting people through the internet and our website and those kind of things. So it's just taking what we already were doing and tacking or changing. How do we reach people when they're not gathered together, but we're really reaching people mostly through a screen?
So what did you learn from those experiences for the future, and which insights would you like to share with our parishes here in Cologne?
Well, I think that the basic fundamental insight that we have learned, which seems obvious enough to the rest of the world, is that online is here to stay. And it's going to be a part of our parish experience. And we want to use online moving forward as a front door for our church, as a place of easy access for newcomers and visitors and guests, as well as the unchurched. It's a very low bar commitment to join us online, and hopefully that experience will be attractional and plant the seeds for them to come to us or some other church in person. The online experience can also be a side door where weekly parishioners can, take a break, but still be joining us online. If they're traveling, if they're away, we can still stay connected to them.
I think the big thing, in just implicit in everything that Father Michael's saying, is that we need to embrace the online. We just had keep hearing instances, even people that were never miss a Sunday Catholics who are now watching online on a Sunday, including your brother. So that we have to embrace it, and it certainly brings some complexity to figure out that was not there before, but to embrace it. And I think for us, our commitment is to keep studying it, keep trying to understand it, and also keep making it a better experience to really connect people, because the point is to bring connection to God and others. But we have to keep studying to figure out how in the world going forward, we're going to keep gathering, but we know we're going to have people online, and it's now going to be this hybrid experience to embrace.
During the workshop, you had a training session on multi-professional pastoral teams. Which experiences on pastoral team work did you share?
Well, we shared a little bit about, so Sue Myhock, who is, we were hoping to have on here, but she's out today, shared about our teams and how they work together, the different departments. And we did share a little bit of our history. We grew from essentially 4 people at the parish. We now have 40 people that work in the different departments. So that for us, we shared some of those different departments and how we organize ourselves. Briefly, there's the pastor's team, there is student ministry, and we call Next Gen for children and students. We have our operations who help with data and finances, and then our adult discipleship team, which is about helping people grow in their faith or faith formation, but looking at that in very many ways. So we shared that, as well as some of the key meetings that are rhythm of our week that we think are important to creating a good staff. A couple of those we shared were simply every Monday we get together and celebrate the wins or the good things that happened the past week, because ministry is a grind. We have a core team meeting that Father Michael and I and some other members are part of. That meets every Tuesday. And then the kind of third and really important meeting is out of that, we share with the rest of the team what's going on. So shared some of those rhythms of the week. And then we talked a little bit about how we identify and find people to work for us. So
I think in a lot of parishes, the question of maintenance of the parish, the question of day-to-day operations, and the question of events, whether it's funerals and weddings and sacraments, or it's other kind of one-offs, if you will, take up all the time of the pastor and leave very little time for, homily preparation, for strategy and planning, and for future development. And those kind of things are actually critically important.
You also addressed the cooperation between ministries and professionals. What are the central elements of a successful leadership of your parish team?
So one of the things we start with is that that we talked about in the webinar that I did that session, was beginning with serving, that we believe everyone's called to serve, and that we have to think about, we don't get volunteer ministers or cooperation with people in the pews because we need help and we got to get help. No, we really believe that God has called them to serve, and our job, as Ephesians says, is to equip them for ministry and to serve, and to create systems and structures and opportunities that make it easy for them to serve. So it kind of begins with that mindset. We did share something, we kind of going through the alphabet A, B, C, D, E, F of that begins by attracting people and asking them to get involved, but asking them to support the vision and the mission of the church. So going back to that, build people up, let them know what they're supposed to do, connect them to both someone that's going to support them in volunteering and to who they're going to be serving, then deploy, get them out there and serving, and continue to help them develop and grow, and then be evaluating how you're doing that, your systems and structures. And then partly you just got to fight on, you got to keep going. It takes perseverance. All the things we talk about in are not magic bullets. They're not is that the word I want to use? Silver bullets. That's what I wanted to use. They're not silver bullets. They just take time.
That's an expression in German, or not?
Yeah. They take time over and over again to do it. It's not magic. It's perseverance.
Well, would you like to add some final thoughts? Or
Well, I think, we continue to work we've done some work with Pastoral Innovation, so Georg and Johannes, and we love to continue to build more relationships with the German churches. We love it. We've been there a few years, the different dioceses, and we love it every time. We were sorry we couldn't come this year.
We want to come next year.
So just beautiful people. We're so glad to at least be able to connect virtually this year. And if people want to check out our website,
yes, please.
You can go to our church website, churchnativity.com, and you can see what we're doing there. And then rebuiltparish.com, that's all our efforts to help other parishes if they want to learn more. And we're eager to work with parishes.
You can also join our online mass on Sundays. Yes,
so that would be, Sundays and Saturday nights at 5. I guess 5 would be a little bit 11 o'clock at night there. So Sunday mornings would probably be the better one.
Great. Thank you very much. And thank you for this talk and being here in Cologne, at least via the internet.
Thank you.